Hello guys, I'm Bayliun and welcome to the UFC 5 Game Modes Deep Dive. I'm super excited to be able to show you some more of the changes UFC 5 is going to bring and all of the new game modes that you are going to be able to check out.
We're going to take a look at new features like UFC Fight Week, Online Career Mode, changes to Fight Now, and the new rule sets for some of your favorite modes. As well as new features you'll discover in Career Mode and tons of awesome stuff that's going to change the way you play UFC 5. Let's start with Fight Week. UFC 5 is truly an extension of the UFC fan experience, and there's no better example than with the Fight Week gameplay mode. It's a next level event driven live service update. In the build up to the biggest UFC events, you'll be able to take part in a series of all new challenges and features that really connect you to the blockbuster UFC cards and the world of MMA in a way that's never been done before. Let's take a look at everything involved. Going into Fight Week, you will be presented with several Fight Week challenges. These challenges give you different objectives to complete throughout the week and will give you the opportunity to unlock rewards inspired by those events, including new created fighter vanity items, player profile, customization assets, emotes, and even UFC athlete alter egos. There's also a section now to make fight picks before real-world UFC events, so you can make predictions for the main card of every pay-per-view. You'll automatically then be seeded into fight pick leaderboards after making those choices, and after the event is over, depending on how many of them you got right, the top ranking players will earn in-game UFC coins, which could be used to buy more assets for your profile and your UFC athletes. You'll also be presented with Fight Week contracts, which will give you a daily fight offer where you can take on AI opponents under preset gameplay settings. Completing these contracts can earn you in-game currency, and the difficulty of these contracts increases over the course of the week. Your total wins, losses, and finishes are tracked in the contracts tab, and it's another chance to earn yourself some in-game rewards. This year, it's all about bringing the real world of MMA and the virtual octagon closer together into one awesome fan experience.
With UFC Fight Week, you're going to be connected to all of the real UFC events. You can make predictions, compete with your friends, and earn in-game rewards just for watching and enjoying the sport and UFC 5.
Another new game mode this year is Online Career Mode with your own created fighters. It includes skill-based matchmaking, division progression, and title chases across 4 different divisions. Created fighters are no longer used in rank mode like in UFC 4. Instead, UFC 5 has a separate game mode for competing with them. There are 4 different divisions to choose from with your created fighters, and there's plenty of character customization and vanity items to show off while you make your way to the online titles. You fight in online career matches, you earn evolution points, which can then be used to improve your created fighters' attributes, moves, and perks. And once you reach the level cap for your athlete, you can prestige, which will reset your evolution to the starting point, but increase the level cap and unlock access to additional moves and perks. There's also XP boosts that you can activate to increase your earning potential, but this year, Online Career is its own entire gameplay mode for you to get stuck into. So jump into Online Career Mode, fully customize your perfect fighter's stats and perks,
and take it online to challenge other players. I'm very excited for this feature to be back, and I personally cannot wait.
Whatever game mode you decide to compete in UFC 5, you will level up your UFC punch card. You can kind of consider it a bite-sized battle pass. Just play the game any way you want and earn your way through a set of predetermined rewards, including in-game currency, player profile customizations, vanity items, as well as your punch card. There's always something to be working towards as well with profile challenges. They're back and they will reward you with XP that helps you level up your punch card. There's also alter egos. These are a new way to unlock different versions of your favorite UFC athletes with different playstyles, looks, and new abilities. All new alter egos let you play as your favorite athletes in their authentic career-defining moments. For example, Origin's Volkanovski has slightly different perks and even some different stat changes, so you can play a different version of your favorite fighter. So you'll have challenges to complete across every game mode, so no matter how you decide to play UFC 5, you'll always be unlocking something cool.
If you know anything about me and my content, you'll know that I absolutely love career mode in UFC games. And with UFC 5, we're getting some features to improve the overall experience, make things more enjoyable, and also increase the difficulty and immersion of becoming a UFC athlete.
I can't just cover up. Makes it hard to see shots coming in too.
Everyone's favorite trainer, Coach Davis, is back to guide you through a whole new UFC career with new cinematics, locations, and a refined focus on onboarding. But don't listen to me, here's producer Rahman Bassi to tell you more.
On UFC 4, we have a lot of data coming in, so we know how our users are playing career mode. We know how many players are playing career mode. It's a very popular mode on UFC 4. A lot of people play career mode multiple times. And one of the pain points that we saw was training camp, obviously. It takes a long time. Training camp in real life, it's not fun. What we've allowed you to do in UFC 5 is, 1, you can simulate your entire training camp and get to peak fitness. So once you've completed a challenge pack in sparring, you can then simulate to that grade over and over again if you get that same challenge pack again. There's a lot of simulation everywhere across career mode just to get you to the fight faster. We've done a lot with our AI tuning this year in career mode specifically. Of course, Sparring is hard, right? We do like there to be a little bit of a danger to sparring. There's always a chance of getting knocked out, getting hurt. There's always a chance of now getting cut as well in career mode, in sparring. The wrinkle we've added to legendary career mode is that it's going to be simulation game style only. So that means there is no HUD, but also at the same time, there's going to be increased damage and increased stamina drain in our legendary career mode this year. It's going to be the most difficult and most challenging legendary career mode that we've had so far.
If you just want to jump straight into a fight, Fight Now is back, but this time around it offers a whole new suite of authentic MMA UFC match types, from the fan favorites including Kumite and Backyard to main event, championship and main card fights. But things are a little different this time around. Main card fights are 3 rounds, main event fights are 5 rounds, and so are the championship fights, but they are of course for world titles. But whether you decide to fight online or off, if you go to the Backyard, you'll have to fight 5 3-minute rounds this time around, and the judges will only score the fight based on damage.
It's going to be a 5-round fight and the rounds will be 3 minutes. So it's going to be very quick, fast rounds that you're going to have. We've changed the judges in the Backyard. So the judges don't necessarily care about the octagon control. All they care about is how much damage you've landed in this fight. So it's a very aggressive mode, and when you play online, you won't be necessarily playing the same way you would. You're going to be playing a little bit of a different gameplay meta when you do go into the Backyard in UFC 5. Whenever you are fighting in the Kumite, it will be a single round which lasts 25 minutes. With our new damage system and the way that you do not want to get hit in UFC 5, the Kumite is such a drastic change from what it was on UFC 4. It's a lot more slower paced. There's no in between rounds to recover your damage anymore. So when you do get hit, that damage is gone.
If you do manage to last the whole 25 minutes, it will go to a draw. Honestly, it's pretty awesome to have some new game rules to fight under, and whatever your preference, you're able to play online or off. And if you want to customize your game even further, there are now different play styles to choose from as well.
So what we've added are multiple game styles. There's the stand and bang game style, which will turn off all grappling. There's the simulation game style, which will be as real as it gets. So essentially turning off the HUDs, increasing damage, increasing stamina drain, making it as simulation as we can possibly get UFC 5. What knockout game style does is it turns off health recovery. So when you do get hit, that health is gone, and when it gets to 0, there will be a knockout. You'll be able to apply that to Fight Now, you can apply that to career mode. You can search for online matches in simulation game styles as well. Along with those 5 categories of game styles that we have, we've allow you to make your custom game styles as well. So you'll be able to turn off doctor stoppages, you'll be able to turn down the damage. You can apply that to any mode as well and play UFC 5 the way you want to play.
From the new awesome simulation style that uses real-time rounds and increased damage and stamina drain to emulate an authentic fight experience, to knockout that turns off health regeneration and recovery and applies unlimited stamina and combinations, or stand and bang, which lets you just fight exclusively on the feet.
Honestly, I absolutely love that there are now all these new ways that you're going to be able to compete inside the cage in UFC 5. Whether you want to have a fight inside the UFC with the unified rules of MMA, or something completely different with these new game modes and custom rule sets. All these new modes are also going to really change the way you're going to have to play and compete inside the cage. And the fact you can fight online and master whatever game mode you enjoy the most really lets you play UFC 5 however you want.
My most favorite feature this year is our fighter select. And one of the most special things about booting up any fighter game is looking at our fighter select and looking at the fidelity of our fighters, how our Frostbite engine has considerably improved our fighter select this year.
And of course, ranked online mode is back for the more competitive players. Pick your favorite UFC athlete, go head to head with other players online and compete for spots in global and friends ranked leaderboards. Wins and losses are added up and rank you in a division as you try and make your way up to compete against the best players in the world and compete for online world titles. Ranked is once again separated into 20 divisions, and there are challenges to complete for reaching the top, as well as collecting rubies with your title defenses. UFC 5 is the next step in mixed martial arts gaming, and with it comes changes to the visuals and game mechanics, as well as a whole host of all these new game modes for you to step into the virtual octagon and experience the UFC like you've never done before. Want to have a 25-minute Kumite fight where your health does not recover the whole time? You can do it. UFC 5 is really raising the bar this year, and it promises to be the best MMA game yet.
Alright guys, thank you so much for joining me today. There's tons of new ways to play UFC 5, changes to some of the existing modes, and loads of new awesome ones to get stuck into as well. If you want to know more, go check out some of the other deep dives on presentation and gameplay. But I've been Bayliun, and I'll see you in the octagon.